Hello from the State Bar of Michigan Annual Meeting 2016 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm Laurence Colletti.
I'm JoAnn Hathaway.
I'm Tish Vincent.
And I'm Tripp.
And we're on the road with Legal Talk Network. And we're back. We're still at the State Bar of Michigan 2016 annual meeting. I have three ladies joining me today. Let me just do a quick round of introductions here. So we have JoAnn Hathaway, we have Tish Vincent, and we have Angela Tripp joining us. And so we're going to do a quick interview. I'm going to hand it over to JoAnn. But as I understand, because we did our pregame, Angela was given absolutely no warning before we decided to bring her, put her right in the hot seat and interview. Is that correct, JoAnn?
That is correct, but she jumped right on board here, so we're very happy that she's able to join us. So again, we have Angela Tripp. Angela is director of the Michigan Legal Help Program in Michigan, and we're delighted to hear more about this program directly from its director, Angela.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having me here. I don't mind coming in with no warning. I was very happy to be invited, so thank you. The Michigan Legal Help Program got its start in 2011 from the statewide Solutions on Self-Help Task Force. And we've grown so much. Currently, we have a website, michiganlegalhelp.org, which is filled with resources for people who have to represent themselves in civil legal matters. We have a lot of great legal aid programs in this state, but they cannot help everyone who needs their assistance. They don't have the resources to give an attorney to everyone who needs one. And so the Michigan Legal Help Program was created to fill that gap. So we have a website with lots of self-help resources. And we also have 11 brick and mortar self-help centers around the state where people can access computers, internet, printers, and get additional help from trained navigators who can give them legal information, but not legal advice. And so it's not a substitute for a lawyer, and we try to make that really clear, but a lot of people, they don't have any other choice but to go to court without a lawyer. And so we want to give them all the tools that they need to succeed.
As I understand it, it's been extremely successful. Do you have any idea how many people have actually availed themselves to this service?
I do. Thanks to Google Analytics, we know that about 22,000 people a week visit michiganlegalhelp.org. One of the aspects of Michigan Legal Help are do-it-yourself tools. So we have a do-it-yourself divorce tool, do-it-yourself answer to eviction complaint. So these are tools that help people create the legal documents that they need. And we get analytics from those as well, and we know that people come to Michigan Legal Help and complete about 230 sets of legal forms a day, which is incredible. I still can't quite believe it, but we've had those numbers for a couple of years now. So people are really accessing our tools and creating court forms so that they can let the court know what they want, what they need, and have their voice be heard.
So if they come into one of the brick and mortar centers and they're trying to fill out a form and they have trouble, can the navigator help them figure that out?
Absolutely. The navigators are trained to help people use the resources on the website. And we use non-attorney navigators because we don't give anyone legal advice. That's not what Michigan Legal Help is about. But the trained navigators can help people figure out how to use the tools and answer. You can still give a lot of help to people by giving them legal information and sometimes just some common sense information
yes,
as
and knowing
well.
how to navigate it.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
Sharing that. Wow, that's incredible. That's heavy usage. I didn't realize the numbers were that high.
Mm-hmm. And it's been pretty steady. I mean, obviously in the beginning, not everyone knew about us, but we've tried to do a lot of outreach to let people know that Michigan Legal Help is available. And we work very closely with the courts. You know, another benefit of Michigan Legal Help is that it helps court efficiencies. When people come to court representing themselves, if they have their forms filled out and they're filled out correctly, and they've read a little bit of background information, and they have a checklist of instructions that we provide, they can move through the court system much more easily, and that helps the courts keep the flow of cases moving.
Yes.
So courts love us.
I bet they do.
So we work very closely with them, and we also work very closely with the State Court Administrative Office. We work together because they create the legal forms that we help people complete, and so we work with them to make sure that those forms are pretty easy to understand, and they also, anytime they update a form, they let us know so that we can update everything on Michigan Legal Help as well.
Angela, was this developed based upon any other program from a different state, or do you find that Michigan is a leader in this area?
Most states have something like Michigan Legal Help, and it varies in how much resources the states put to it. When we built Michigan Legal Help, we were very, very incredibly fortunate to partner with people from Illinois Legal Aid Online. Their program has been around for about 15 years, and so they have learned an incredible amount, and so were able to help us get started. And so we're sort of modeled on Illinois Legal Aid Online, but we're also a little bit different. And like I said, most states have something like Michigan Legal Help. And one of the great things about my job is that I get to connect with those folks from around the country. There's a couple different conferences that I go to, and I'm on the National Self-Represented Litigant Network. And so I get to talk to people around the country and learn about what they're doing, and we all sort of collaborate on projects. And so it's a great community of people, and everyone's always open and willing to share.
Do you know how many states have something equivalent in the United States?
I would say, I think every state has something.
Okay.
But they vary in quality because of how much resources were put to it. Before Michigan Legal Help, we actually had another website called Michigan Legal Aid. That was one of those websites that wasn't great because we didn't put any resources to it. And Michigan Legal Help has replaced that. What I've learned is that to have a resource like this, you really need to dedicate resources. I have a staff of 6 people, and we work full time to put this together. And it's not just about building it and then sending it off into the world. We update it every day. We modify it every day. We work hard to keep the content up to date, and we check it all. We review everything at least once a year to make sure it's still accurate. And we make a lot of other changes outside that regular schedule when court forms change or practices change or someone tells us that an article is hard to understand. So it's a big commitment, but it's a great resource, and that's why so many people use it, because it is so relevant.
I can see that. So it's not just setting it up and letting it be there. You constantly have to be involved with it and having it evolve and keeping it current.
Right. People used to ask me after we launched in August of 2012, and people would say to me, "What are you going to do now that the website's done?" And I had to explain over and over again, the website is never done. It's like, when is the internet done? It's never done. It's never finished. We're always adding things and changing things and making it a little bit better and tweaking it, and new technology comes along and we take advantage of that. Right now we're working on a triage project that will help match people to the legal resources that they need most, depending on what's available in their community. So if someone wants an attorney, we can gather a little bit of information about them and find out whether they might qualify for legal services or whether they're better off going to the state bar's lawyer referral service. And so it's a triage that we always call it like the Harry Potter sorting hat. Like, people go into this system and we gather a little bit of information, and then we send them to the resource that's best tailored for them. And the idea is that they don't need to, call 4 places to get the resource that they need. We can get them to the right place the first time. So that's something that we're working on right now that I'm really excited about.
That's very interesting, very timely.
So it sounds like you're not legal muggles?
We are not legal muggles.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for joining us. I think you actually have a drive coming up here pretty soon. Where are you going back to?
We're headed back to Ann Arbor, where our office is and where I live.
Okay, so it's been a while since I've been to Michigan, so you have to forgive me for the hand reference. Where on the hand is that?
Right here, Southeast Michigan,
Like, is that on your palm, like right below your thumb?
Yes, it is. Not on the thumb, because that's called the thumb, but down here on the meaty part of the palm.
It's where that other school is.
The other school. You heard it here from JoAnn Hathaway. So a little bit of inside baseball there. That's an inside joke for Michigan people, the hand joke. So anyway, well, thank you so much for joining us, Angela. And if our listeners want to follow up with you about what they've heard today, how can they reach you?
Reach me through email. My email address is trippa@mplp.org, or you can find me anywhere on Michigan Legal Help. We have lots of places on Michigan Legal Help where people can leave feedback and questions, and all of that eventually makes its way back to me. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Well, we've reached the end of the road for today's episode, but I want to thank Angela again one more time for joining us. And of course, JoAnn and Tish for co-hosting this today. Excellent, great information. And if our listeners also want to thank you, if you like what you heard today, please rate us in iTunes, and we'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with Legal Talk Network.
Excellent. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You did a great job.
I know.
Stereo.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.